in this half has regularly been ruined by England stealing the ball, and that's both down to imprecision on their part, but also very good work by the England second rows.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think England's penalties, they've created their own problems, England, by a high penalty count, but then they've solved them in the way that the line has functioned, especially on opposition ball, and you know, it's probably getting them over the line, and a performance they won't be that proud of, but it's done the job.
England up to 31 points. The gap is 10 points. Surely that is it.
Well, I think England are going to take them, and people will say it's been a poor championship. I'm sure there'll be a lot of niggly comments about it. Grand Slams are never easily won, and they're always worth something.
3 games on the road to doing the Grand Slam the hard way. Only 2 games at Twickenham. That is just where England want to be. In the French 23, spinning, and that's an excellent follow-up tackle. France have to come from deep, from their own 22. The clock is running, a minute and a half to go. England's first Grand Slam in 13 years.
And the other point, Eddie, if people are asking and saying it was an easy Grand Slam, you have to say, well, why didn't you win it then?
There is no such thing, there really isn't. It's incredibly difficult to win. Spinning.
He's been brilliant today, Spinning.
Fofana, Maestri, Vakatawa. He always brings something. Pisson, Loré, France over halfway, and again the ball goes down. The game is going to end with an England put in at the scrimmage. Oh, they look weary out there. Loré looks tired, he's fresh legs. Antonio, France though, the game is going to be lost. It hasn't been a great campaign for France. It has been such a recovery for England. The bitterness that went with the defeat in the World Cup, well, this is putting themselves back together as quickly as possible. A Grand Slam in the 6 Nations.
And from a supporter's point of view, I'm sure that they will understand the importance of this for future development. But the thing is, there is a lot more to come, Eddie Jones, and they will know that. There are a lot of areas of improvement. But to achieve that as well just shows that there is a lot of potential with this team. And let's not forget Stuart Lancaster in this, because he must be sat at home wondering what if. And the fact is, the vast majority of the players that are here, he identified and took to a certain level. So he should take some satisfaction in this as well.
We are into overtime. Mike, quick word on the Grand Slam?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think what we've talked about as he kicks it out, you can see what it means to the players. They've obviously been through the heartbreak before they can fully enjoy this bit now.
It is England's Grand Slam. 5 out of 5 in the 6 Nations of 2016. And it's not just the 5 out of 5. It comes after all the disappointment of their home World Cup of 2015. Eddie Jones, the new coach, said, "We want prizes." Well, he's won the first on offer. His England have won the Grand Slam in the 6 Nations. The final score, France 21, England 31.
So, Jerry Guscott, how much is this Grand Slam that man's?
Well, Eddie's inspired his team. That's what a coach is there to do. He's come up with some really good tactics, a good game plan. He's changed the leadership, which has worked. He's brought in some vice captains, given them responsibility. They've grown up. I'd say that a lot of this side has played as well as they can and are still improving, and that didn't happen so much in the previous 4 years. Those guys have really stepped up, and they can be very pleased. The pain of missing out over the last few years is now put to bed, and they're Grand Slam champions.
A lot of people asking how Dylan Hartley is. We are trying to find out for you what the state of play is with the England captain, but let's hear from Eddie Jones, the man who's masterminded this Grand Slam.
Well, at the first time of asking, Eddie, you've led England to a long-awaited Grand Slam. How proud are you right now?
I'm very proud of the boys. You know, we weren't at our best today, but we battled through and really deserved the victory. So it's a great achievement by the team.
It all got very nervy towards the end. There was just sort of 2 points in it. Just how anxious were you?
Look, I always had confidence in the team. I thought in the first half we sat back a little bit, probably more worried about the result than playing, and the second half we were much more positive in the way we played.
I gather Dylan Hartley is nattering away in the dressing room and is sitting up. He obviously left the pitch on a stretcher. How influential has his leadership been, given some questioned his credentials as captain?
Look, he's been fantastic. He's done a really good job. Billy Vunipola, Brownie and Owen have done well supporting him, and the older guys, Haskell and Robshaw, that nucleus of the team has been very strong.
And how much does Steve Borthwick deserve a pat on the back? Because at times your line-out kept you in this game today.
Well, the two assistant coaches have done a fantastic job. Paul Gustard with his defence and Steve Borthwick with his set-piece work. They're really to be congratulated for their efforts.
And how improved has this group been in your mind, given what happened at the World Cup?
Well, the great thing is the best is ahead of us. We're looking forward to going down to Australia now, and we're only going to get better.
Michael Checker is our guest this evening, so have you got a little word for him?
We're looking forward to seeing you check in Australia.
Many congratulations.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Are you shaking in your boots, Michael?
Well, he'll give us a bit of a tongue whipping, that's for sure, but it's good to see England playing good footy, and that's what rugby's about, make the contest happen. And I think the one thing that's important that everyone keeps talking about a little bit, the World Cup's over. For us, for them, for everyone. And it's about getting on to the next thing, and that's certainly what we're thinking about as well.
I mean, I gather that Owen Farrell can talk to us now, actually, so let's go down to Sonia once more.
Owen, just describe the emotions as that final whistle blew.
Oh, it was brilliant. We set ourselves a goal at the start of the Six Nations to be the most dominant team in Europe, and we've achieved that goal. It weren't the best. It weren't the best of starts for us in the first half, even though we were up and scored a couple of tries. And we came out there and showed some character in that second half. I thought the boys were brilliant.
Were there some nerves out there as France kept slotting the penalties?
No, we was focused on our job. The right messages were being said out there. Everyone was saying the right things. France are a good side, especially over here. And I thought the boys weathered it well.
How much does Eddie Jones deserve this?
Oh, everyone does. Everyone does. This squad's been brilliant since we met up for this Six Nations. We've got better week on week and built on performances, and we've got what we deserve after it.
You've remembered the agony of the previous near misses, so how special is this for England to finally get over the line, given what happened at the World Cup just in the autumn?
Yeah, I'm just chuffed for the boys. There's a few that's been through a lot, and there's some new lads that's coming in and adding to this squad. And I'm chuffed for everyone.
And you're lifting the trophy, I think.
Skips is here. He's up on his feet. I'm sure he'll lift it.
Well done.
Cheers.
But I think we can see Dylan Hartley. In fact, there he is, the number 2 jersey. You can see with his back to us moment. So Dylan Hartley's out after his head injury assessment after what looked a horrible collision. But anyway, so that's good news. And here is confirmation of how the RBS Six Nations finished in 2016. England played 5, won 5 with a points difference of 62, and they are the Grand Slam champions for the first time in 13 years. And let's hear from the man of the match.
Billy, there's huge smiles from your teammates, there's hugs all round. What does this mean to this group of players?
It means a great deal, and I'm a bit jealous I get to miss out on this, but look, I'm thankful for such a great bunch of guys, and we've had a great 8 weeks. And to come out on top and win every game after what happened in the World Cup, which no one can forget about, it's a great achievement for us, and I just thank God for giving me the opportunity, and I'm just so happy right now.
It was hard fought out there. Just give us an idea how tough it was this evening.
I think you could hear how loud the crowd was, and I'm sure they didn't want us, and the same for the French team, didn't want us to come here and win a Grand Slam on their home soil, and that's a credit to them. But more credit goes to my team and the way we stood up to them in a tough first half, and eventually came out on top.
Many, many congratulations. I can see you're bouncing. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thomas, from a French perspective, Are you encouraged a bit by the way that France clearly played better tonight than they have for a while?
Yeah, even if we lost at home once again, against a very good team of England, and I have to say that maybe that was one of the best game, done by the French team since a very long time. I think we have shown that we can compete against the best teams, and even if we still have a long way to go, England is showing us the way, of glory, and I think we need to follow these steps.
We're waiting for the presentation to happen at the moment. All the England players will go up. The podium is there and the presentation party are ready. There isn't actually a Grand Slam trophy, but there is a championship trophy, and England obviously will get that.
They will, and they love it. I mean, to win ugly is not a bad way to get your first Grand Slam. They're always generally hard to come by. And now they've got across that line, these boys are going to get more confident, they're going to believe in themselves more. They've got a tough tour to look ahead, but boy, are they going to grow on that one.
Michael, you're the obvious person to ask this. Everybody who's now we're very close to the press boxes, can see people tapping away manically on their computers, and they're going to be writing about Eddie Jones's contribution to England and what he's done. This obviously was Stuart Lancaster's squad, effectively, that Eddie has taken and manipulated a bit. Is it possible to say how important he has been to this?
Well, obviously he's made a change straight away, you know what I mean? And you can see that because the scoreboard's saying 5 matches, 5 wins. And playing good, better footy, you know what I mean? So that's a good state of mind for them, and I think that Eddie takes a lot of credit for, reinvigorating that part of the game,
The presentation party, who you can see as all the players are going up and each England player is being announced in turn. The presentation party is Sir Howard Davis, who's chairman of RBS, John Feehan, the chief executive of the 6 Nations, and Bill Beaumont, you will doubtless recognise, chairman of the 6 Nations, soon to be probably the most powerful man in world rugby, and a former Grand Slam winner himself. When you look back as all these players get their prizes, and there's the man of the match, the names, the roll of honour of England players, England captains who have won Grand Slams. Norman Atherton Woodhouse, in the early days it was mandatory to have a double-barrelled name. Ronald Poulton Palmer, then W.J.A. Davis, Wavell Wakefield, one of the great figures of English rugby over the many, many years. Ronald Cove Smith, another double-barrelled name for you. Eric Evans in 1957. Bill Beaumont, who led England to a Grand Slam in 1980. Will Carling. Obviously, Brian Moore's been part of our commentary team, and he was part of Will Carling's side in 91, 92 and 95. And Martin Johnson, obviously, the last man to do it 13 years ago. And Dylan Hartley, now he is back in one piece, will be the man who lifts that trophy very shortly. Big applause for Mike Brown, who has been an absolute stalwart for England on the field of play, but also off. You feel that he's one of the sort of talisman of this group who's really knitted them together in the aftermath of the World Cup. He said how angry he was after the events of last autumn, and he's been somebody who's carried that positivity, if you like, into the field of play over the course of the last 6 or 7 weeks. There's still 6 or 7 players to go up. Jerry, in terms of stating how important this is for English rugby, can you put that in some kind of context, given what happened 6 months ago?
Look, I agree with Michael that the World Cup is gone. Everyone's building towards the next one, and they want to win and they want to improve. I think we've seen England at strength, the depth of the squad. There's talented players, there's competition to all places 1 to 15. The bench that comes on is incredibly strong. They're only going to get better. I don't see this team getting worse.
Well, there was so much written about whether Dylan Hartley was the right man to captain England in the aftermath of everything last year, but here is the proof of the pudding as Dylan Hartley receives his medal and lifts very shortly the championship, the RBS 6 Nations Championship, but more to the point, he is the first England captain since Martin Johnson to captain a Grand Slam winning England rugby team. So we've just got a couple of moments as England celebrate, and they will have a good night because Eddie Jones will make sure they do. A quick thought from all of our pundits here about the events of the last 7 weeks or so. Thomas, I'll start with you. England Grand Slam champions, France finishing in the bottom